Fellow countrymen, stories are always remembered by their ending. A good story has a happy ending. And in this story, the ending was an eye-opener for the surprised dad. He thought that he was rich, but his son showed him how poor he was.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our today's analysis. Do you remember the time when I was telling you that Mutahi Ngunyi is one of the opinion shapers that actually set a trend on any political discourse? In fact, if you look at these figures that are lining up and parading themselves as opinion shapers, Mutahi Ngunyi is one very instrumental one. And just recently, there is a video which I did and told you how Mutahi Ngunyi was very much aggressive with, tackling William Ruto. But today, there is a development that has really taken a shape, which is very much significant politically. So from where you stand, or where you sit, do you think that Mutahi Ngunyi's move by, what he said on Twitter is something tangible enough that should take politics by a landslide? And from the political understanding of this, there is more to whatever he said. And in this analysis, I just want to give you the deepest understanding of Mutahi Ngunyi's move. Very important politically. But before I do that, in the event you are coming to the channel for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, have a moment and give this video a like. Just give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, please take a moment and subscribe. And you can always come back for more. Now let's get into the analysis. First of all, if you read Mutahi Ngunyi's, message or the post that he made via Twitter, you can deduce two things. First of all, Mutahi Ngunyi is not openly giving out his support behind the move that he's making to joining William Ruto. And you can clearly note that in the tone of his post. Because first of all, that tone is indicating somebody who is kind of attacking and defending. He's not clear. He's not kind of trying to bring out the real him supporting William Ruto willingly. So one thing that you can note there is that out of this post, Mutahi Ngunyi is testing the waters. Perhaps because he is now seeing that William Ruto is a man who can go the relational way and not turn out to be a president who is kind of transactional in his moves, he must test the waters to know if he can be embraced by William Ruto. So this tone of Mutahi Ngunyi is not directly revealing clarity. Now the other thing, Mutahi Ngunyi is trying to look at what is it that is coming ahead. You will try to gauge, because they look at the wave of the politics of a given season. Now this season is a season where if you support William Ruto, there are more benefits. And if you don't support William Ruto, you must stick to the opposition. And I want to tell you something. One of the reasons why Mutahi Ngunyi was supporting Raila is because of the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I'm beginning to see that indeed President Kenyatta has washed his hands from Azimio's activities. He has washed his hands from Azimio's activities based on probability of good thing, light at the end of the tunnel coming based on the talks. Another thing, having been threatened by the government of the day, he has actually said that let me leave the battlefield, let me leave the ring and just go and relax outside Kenya and have my duties, focused on another territory altogether. And so the kind of people that Uhuru Kenyatta was with, the kind of influence that he had on these people, in as far as supporting Raila Odinga is concerned, he has moved with them. And if you look at Mutahi Ngunyi, every ideology he was aligning with in supporting Raila was ideology based on supporting Uhuru Kenyatta's force in Azimio. And that is the same thing that I told you guys the moment, I was giving you how the Mount Kenya community in Azimio are trying to see that they are not being recognized and they are being sidelined. And one of the reasons I gave you is because of the Uhuru's influence that is now depleting. So Uhuru's influence is depleting, and Mutahi Ngunyi is a man who must always keep the fire burning. And the fire burning here is the conversation of the political discourse every single day. He cannot continue to attack William Ruto when he knows very well that things are going to take a different turn where these political sides might work together at the end. And so if he remains to be very much steadfast on hitting William Ruto, it will not be for his benefit. Otherwise, the only thing that needs to be done is to join the ship, join the bandwagon that is going to support the president. So the tone of Mutahi Ngunyi's post is reflecting what is supposed to come ahead. Because if you look at all the activities of Mutahi Ngunyi, by the way, Mutahi Ngunyi was running that Fortol School of Government, and you can actually try to look at the channel which they used to critique William Ruto so much. In fact, they were very much pro-government. That is the channel which died immediately Ruto came into power. In fact, for very many months now, they have not done analysis on that channel. So it tells you that they were very cautious on what the government will do. If you are so much an antagonist to the government and you become a red flag to them, you must be very careful on what you say. But whatever Mutahi Ngunyi was saying is a foreshadow of what is to come. We are seeing a dialogue taking shape. He's seeing these leaders are in the possibility of coming together. Definitely, he must join the team. Mutahi Ngunyi is schematic. Mutahi Ngunyi knows exactly what he is doing. He is not going to support William Ruto willingly because he has not displayed it so much from the tone of his publication. He has not given us the direct reasons why he is going to support William. So the only way to relate with William Ruto is to go the relational way. If you look at the history of Hustler Nation, Mutahi Ngunyi has always claimed that he's the one who birthed the Hustler Nation concept or narrative. And by the time William Ruto was taking it over and running away with it, Mutahi Ngunyi had defined it. Mutahi Ngunyi had formed an opinion that people can buy into the hustler movement and the hustler thing altogether. And Makiu, he was very categorical. There is this post he made and said that the way he saw William Ruto undertake his 5-day tour in Mount Kenya is a proof that perhaps his temerity is not going to die down. And whatever is coming down, like people are seeing the high cost of living, for William Ruto, he will still maintain the best that he has with Mount Kenya. And Mutahi Ngunyi has always tried to align his politics to the extent that whatever Mount Kenya buys into, or whatever he sees a possibility of Mount Kenya changing their minds to, definitely he supports it. And for Raila Odinga, perhaps he has come to the realization that maybe Raila will not get any chance in trying to be embraced by Mount Kenya.
Happy Sabbath Truth. Today we will send a Sabbath letter to country and to the Hustler Nation, which we created. Fellow countrymen, things are not as bad as we think they are. Or are they? The glass is always half empty in your eyes. This is why, although we did not support William Ruto, we will defend the sanctity of the office he occupies. We will speak truth to his actions, but call out the bullies.
Jack Ma taught us that what you focus on expands. If you focus on negative energy and pessimism against Ruto, the way you did on Uhuru, you will attract and expand the same energy to yourself. And this is because energy flows where attention goes. If our attention goes to the half-empty glass, energy will flow to the emptiness of the glass and expand it. And this is what the children of Israel did after their liberation. In fact, they told Moses that they wanted to go back to Egypt as slaves. They were drunk on pessimism, served on a half-empty glass that expanded. What is our point here? We may not agree with Ruto or believe that he is being sabotaged, but we must respect the office that he occupies.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you have from your side? What do you have? Let us have this conversation continuing, and until we meet in the next analysis, may you have a great time.